birthday assassinators. This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. This is the birthday celebration edition of the SNA podcast. Because like the celebration does not stop or never ends. And also, I won't be making any type of videos tomorrow, so I thought I might do a little birthday celebration here tonight, like because it's just hours away from your boy Super Ninja Austin from turning 23, I guess you could say. And I thought I might give y'all like a show like here tonight, like which is gonna be the AEW Dynamite review, and what a very entertaining show it was. Like, with not only they getting everything ready for AEW Grand Slam, but also for when they head over to Los Angeles at the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles for AEW Grand Slam, and we got like a tease of a women's tag team feud. We got some pretty good tag team matches. One for the trios championships, and the other for the regular tag team championships, which I did not expect was going to main event the show. But let's say that ties with MJF versus Dustin Rhodes, because Dustin and Max Ortega Freeman did a totally terrific job. And I bet there's one thing that you probably see that's unnoticed that you probably haven't seen in probably almost 2 years now is my hair down and wide. Y'all probably might ask. Thought I might add something very special, like my character on the WWE 2K games, like when my hair's down, and then we put on the mask and the cape and whatnot, and even on Fight Forever, I even have a character which I need to show you a picture of like very very soon. But enough about that. But let's talk about this, and then also we'll be making a what they call it segment, a prediction segment, who's going to be winning their respective matches at the event. But this is where we got everybody that was in the matches involved ready, like with them training backstage, sending the message while looking in front of the camera. And Anthony Khan totally did a very terrific job. Like, and I don't understand why people on Twitter and other social platforms are complaining about AEW being not as good as WWE is. Like, it feels like it always had me wonder, like, why they cannot be like normal people and give their honest opinion, saying like they just like WWE more because it's just more entertaining than what AEW has to offer. But AEW is still a pretty good show, at least on my take of things. And even like my boy, the great one said, he said like, I'm not gonna keep ranting and complaining about AEW when it's not for me at this time. Like, even though I used to like what AEW puts on my television screen, like, but it's just that it's not like my cup of tea, right? Just to be like in the polite side. And also, we got plenty of goofy wrestling, including the platinum trophy of the night once again, which I'm gonna get into just a moment as well. But yeah, we're gonna get things started with Max Caster or Platinum. Speaking of platinum, we got Platinum Maximilian Caster, and he proclaimed himself as the best wrestler alive. That's where fans say like, what you are is suckish, which they could be telling the truth there. But this is where Maximilian Caster does not continue by ignoring the fans. And then for those that don't think that I'm not the best wrestler, like, it's been notarized by this paperwork by the United States government. And I'm like, oh, like that's something if that's something to brag on, like they're just full of liars and lazy people, man. But anyways, this is where Max Caster then continues saying, like, I can take this anytime, anywhere to be known as the best wrestler alive. And then this is where then he continued on the microphone, like, since I let my partners Anthony Bowens and ran my partners Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn out of this company, like, well, now, like, you can see, like, that the true mastermind behind the acclaim was always me, like, Platinum Maximilian Cast. And then he's like, but without further ado, I'm gonna do a little open challenge. Is where he realized it was the guy that always keep chasing after him, which was the cowboy that called himself Sugar Honey Iced Tea. But somehow he turned heel, because this wasn't the only heel that he was. Somehow he turns back into a baby face, even though he got this psychotic stalking persona, but in a good guy manner, like with this baby face gimmick, like, and that's where we got Max Caster then That's where the Max had to try to leave, but before he can even make it to the back exit, Hangman Page stopped him as we're sitting back in the ring. But somehow Maximilian Caster somehow got the offense in, hit a slide Hurricane, and that's going to be his finisher to put him away, and that's the reason why he's the best wrestler alive. Well, that's not quite the case because Hangman Page immediately got back up after he started doing this little dance like if he's doing a little symphony orchestra. That's where he turned around and he knew that he messed up because he get thrown right to the upper left side. Hangman Page went to the diagonal side, hit a flying clothesline, threw him in as that diagonal side, hit a clothesline from there, snap mirrors him, go to the left side, hit the sliding lariat. That's where then Hangman and was there, come on, let's get hype, fans. Is where he immediately then went for a buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. And this match only lasts by 2 or 3 minutes, but that's not the shortest match of the night because we got another match that's like a little bit right before the main event that we're going to be talking about in just a moment. But that's where Hangman paid them. Then put back his jacket on, like in such a badass manner, where the fans start chanting his nickname, which is Cowboy Shit, which that's the only time I'm gonna mention that name. But I'm just gonna continue to call him his other nickname I made up, which is the Cowboy that calls himself Sugar Honey Iced Tea. But what are your thoughts onto this new face term from Hangman, at least for now? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. Do you think you should continue doing this, or should this be a one-off? Considering they don't have nothing else to do. And this word in Swerve Strickland that said something that might be giving me a reason why I should be his wrestling rival when, if I ever do get in the square circle, is the mention about what they called a comparison and an analogy about himself and the Philadelphia Eagles, which that sounds very, very, very insulting to your boy the Assassin. But it's where Ricochet got on the corner. That's where Ricky the Dicky said but the. Was it Swerve that said that about the Philadelphia Eagles? I think it was Ricky the Dicky, actually, which I think that's another, which I would say he also, which he was the one that said it, but that does give me an also reason why I should be be the wrestling rivals of theirs once I get into the world of PW. But anyway, this is where we got, Ricky the Dicky then said you didn't win last time we fought was you couldn't even beat me even if I was blindfolded. That's where they showed Swerve Strickland was that's where Swerve Strickland was yeah, I'm coming after you. And this is where I know when Rick says I'm gonna be going to bigger and bigger. This is where we fought and I believe and this is where Swerve Strickland was what he said. He's and this is why I'm a believer for an eye, and I'm coming after your eye. But this is where personality not sound like he's see Swerve, see what I'm talking about? You're not why you have to make it too personal, Swerve? This is what we talking about. Well, we should be worried about getting that title that's around your waist that you haven't been in 6 months. That's where Swerve Strickland was well, I tried that. Look what happened to me. Look what the guys like Hangman and Ricky did to me. Even when I tried to do the right thing, I just cannot do the right thing, which is kind of a teaser of a heel turn. Maybe after when he's done feuding with Ricky the Dicky, but that's probably when he goes after revisit his feud with the Cowboy that calls himself Sugar Honey Iced Tea. But let me know down in the comments below about that. But this is where we finally got the opener match. Oh no, it wasn't the opener because Hangman and Maximilian Caster was on, which I'll give it the red ribbon because it just leads up into a very intriguing run of Hangman going back to the babyface in this manner. But that's where we got the next match, second match of the night, which I give it the silver trophy for sure because it had your boy Super Ninja Austin here, very entertained, and also secondly, it was it was what it needed to be. Even though it should have been the very first match, but since that match was quick, this was actually looking what they call an opener match that. It was a 10-minute contest, but this is where we got the match start off with. Who was it? Was it Adam Cole or was it? Oh, I think it started off with what they call a 3-on-3, what they call brawl for all, I guess it's called. But that's where then we got this is where it was a partial powerful force in all professional wrestling came on, which was the commercial break, which went back. We saw it back in the when the advert was on. It was now Kyle O'Reilly and what's his name of the Death Riders, Willa Yuta. Started going for wrist locks right into each other, which Willa Yuta was winning because it was the powerful force because the Undisputed Kingdom was winning when they were in the when they were in the ringside area before the match even started. This is where we got Wheeler to back up Riley right into their corner in the bottom right. This is where we got Pac then going for a tag. This is where then he this way goes for a pump boot right into the face. This is where we got this is where he threw Kyle O'Reilly, hits him right jaw first. This is where we got Pac and throws him right to the bottom left side. This is where Kyle O'Reilly then was like, this is where he didn't put him back in the bottom right corner side doing the same thing. But this is where he finally tags in Claudio Castagnoli. This is where both the Death Riders like to start going for a stop onto the man that could be related to the family that created that auto store. But this is where then we got Claudio Castagnoli was right in control, right onto Kyle. This is where we got but that's where Nigel McGuinness started talking sugar honey iced tea about my boys and back-to-back Super Bowl Chiefs. Even though I'm kind of disappointed for them, like not getting the job done of making history. But that's where Nigel And that's where then Antonio Schiavone tried to correct Nigel McGuinness, started saying like saying that it's like the analogy is more likely a Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, which I give kudos to Antonio Schiavone for those kind words of leaving the Chiefs out of this because they're not losers. But anyway, this is where we got Claudio Castagnoli hit a knife edge chops to Kyle O'Reilly. This is where Kyle O'Reilly hit a forearm strike. This is where Claudio hit him with the European uppercut. It was like the forearm versus European uppercut contest. This is where then we got Claudio going for a sleeper hold onto O'Reilly. This is where we got Castagnoli thought he put him down for good, but that's when this is where the moment that he knew that he messed up because it's where he started getting his fingers bent by the former multi-time tag team champion. This is where he tried to go for a hip suplex, but it's where he ends up going for getting guillotined by Claudio. This is where Kyle O'Reilly tried to go for a hip suplex. This is where then he ends up like, oh, what the heck? Like, he's not going to let go anytime soon. This is where then he tried to push him. This is where Willie Yuta came in for the save, for the assist. This is where he started hitting. He hit a big old right hand, which gave him the first, gave Rick Knox, gave him the first warning. But this is where when Adam Cole and Roderick Strong tried to come in and try to help their buddy out, but we're trying to do the referee job for him, but the referee was not doing his job on the Death Rider side, but only for the others for the Kingdom. Like, what the hell is how fair is that? Like, are the referees secretly heels or something and purposely doing this? But that's where Willie Yuta then came and started helping out, even though the referee wasn't looking at him. This is where he started stomping on him. This is where Willie Yuta then gets tagged in by Claudio. This is where then he tried to go for a submission hold, but this is where Kyle beat him too and tried to go for what they call lock, an Achilles lock, but it's where it ends up Claudio stopping for the save. This is where he gets tagged in by Pac. This is where Pac started taunting Kyle. Oh, these are your two big brothers, or one big brother, one little brother, because Adam's the youngest. But that's where then we got what's his name? Packman pushes the shove him right in the face. Colorado go for a sliding kick and a slap right back at him. This is where Packman started hitting some strikes, like whether it's his legs or his fist. This is where then Packman started making a comeback, going for roundhouse kicks, some punches. This is where he tried to go to the right side, but this is where he gets kneed right into the midsection by the former multi-time tag team champ, with then tagging him Roderick Strong in the back-legged drop kicks. This is where he hits some knife-edge chops, not giving a care about the guy that changed his name to a name that he's famous for onto the main show of the other company, but it's where Kyle O'Reilly then took out not only him, but also Willie Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli, hitting a backbreaker on the Willie Yuta like when he came back in after hitting the sidewalk backbreaker. It's where he hit that suplex back, that back slam maneuver. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but packed and kicked out at 2.6. This is where then he tags in O'Reilly after that. This is where we got no, it was Adam Cole actually. This is where O'Reilly got back up. He got up though, but it's where we got it's where Adam Cole and they're going for no, it was a gut, but a firewoman, fireman's gut buster from Roddy, which followed up with Adam Cole going for a backstabber, and then like if it's WWE 2K or even AEW Fight Forever, this is where Kyle O'Reilly waited for him to hit a swift kick, and maybe I was right because O'Reilly didn't for the pin on my part, but it's where like he thought he was going to get away with it. This is where we hereby like unfortunately we got the meddling Swiss man coming and stop him from getting the three. Adam Cole tried to do his best to try to get him out of the ring, but it's where he ends up getting booted right into the face. But luckily Roddy was there to hit a knee strike. This is where he gets tagged in by Kyle O'Reilly. This is where they're about to hit their double do a double team finisher. But this is where we got a trap like with Willa Yuta pushes Kyle O'Reilly out of the ring with Roddy Strong already hit a sidewalk backbreaker onto Pack, but this is where Claudio picks up Roderick Strong and hit a back suplex. It's where Adam Cole try to come in to save today, but the referee stopped and put him back in his post. It's where Claudio Castagnoli came in and what that tag himself in the match. Is basically trying to humiliate Roddy with some stomps repeatedly. This is where we got this is where we got the Swiss cyborg that did his arm fold, like doing the taunt, like saying, like who wants to see me do more damage? This is where fans start chanting, start cheering like. This little fans are chanting undisputed, clap, responding to Claudio's question. This is where fans are like, boo, we don't want your disgusting water. And I forgot to tell you that this show was taking place from the city that could possibly, it was named after your boy here, the SNA. But anyways, this is where we got, yeah, this is where we got Willa Yuta going for like a guillotine, like, what's that? A guillotine gator roll of some sort. This is where we got Roderick Strong and was trying to fight right back. As soon as he got right up, this is where he didn't try to go for a wrist lock, which it was slowly but surely working. But this is where he get kicked right into the midsection as soon as he was trying to hit a reversing maneuver like a suplex, but he ends up getting suplexed and beaten to it by Willard. This is where he tags in Pac. This is where the Pac can start taking over, going for a sleeper hold. This is where we got. And where Roderick Strong was like, no, I'm not surrendering. This is where somehow escaped. This is where he went right to the upper right side. But Pac did not let him get away with by hitting a running European uppercut. But once he tried to go for a pin, this is where we got Roddy then kick out at 2.7, was it? Yeah. But this is where we got Pac and try to talk trash on Rick Knox and try to put his hands on him. But this is where then he stops himself because you would immediately get disqualified. But even if he did so, he retained here. But he don't want to be given a warning. Like the next time it does happen, like then they're gonna have the finish out. Even if they do lose again by DQ, this time they'll lose the titles. But it's where we got what's his name. This is where we got Nigel McGinn said something that was very wise, saying like you don't want to risk your match, so you can put your match in jeopardy by putting your hands on the official, which it's for the best to not do so. But this is where Claudio tried to go for a sleeper on the Roddy. It's where then he stopped Roddy from getting out from attacking what's his name, attacking for attacking what's his name? Trying to, but he continued his attacks on Roddy Strong, tags in Willa Yuta, and then once he tagged in Pac, is where to start taking doing the pattern tags. So they can throw each other right into Roddy Strong. Like when somebody throws Willa Yuta, he hits an elbow strike. Pac can hit a European uppercut, along with Claudio doing the same. And etc. This is where we got a second partial powerful force in professional wrestling, which is the second picture-in-picture break since this match was on. But this is where we got. And this is where we got the Undisputed Kingdom that managed to to get back on their feet. Is where then Kyle O'Reilly finally got the hot old tag when Roddy Strong got out of the grasp of the Death Riders. Like once the partial adverts went off, is where we got Roddy Strong started going to town. Not this is where Roddy give a big old hot tag onto what's his name on the Kyle O'Reilly. This is where he's not in the company until Claudio and Pac. I mean, not Pac. Willa Yuta got the better of them. This is where we got Willa go for a splash. This is where we got Roddy Strong hit a knee strike right onto Claudio. This is where we got we tell about Roddy Strong hit a big what they call it, knee strike right to the face onto what's his name onto what's his name Willie, you no, it was Claudio. No, but Willie, you try to go for a splash, which was still on top of Claudio. But it's where then, but it's where then he gets it's where the Colorado knees get the knees down, like or knees up, I should say, on the way down of Willie Yuta try to go for a pin, but he gets denied. This is where we got Adam Cole gets tagged in. This is where everybody is super kick. But it's where Claudio Castagnoli was in the way. It was everything else. Anyway, he gets flying knee strike by Kyle. This is where he tries to go for an attack, but this is where he gets elbow right to the face by Willie Yuta. This is where Willard then gets tagged in by Pac, which you go for a springboard crossbody, but he ends up getting hit with a super kick by Adam Cole hard to the point he went do backflips. But this is where we got. But this is where we got tags all around, like with Adam tagging in Roddy, with Roddy tagging in Kyle. This is where then we got. That's where Roddy hits a knee strike right into the face onto what's the name? Pac. This is where they got. This is where he did a stomp right to his head. This is where the Colorado hit a what they call an elbow strike. While Roddy's going to go for knee strike, and Adam Cole go for super kick onto Pac. But it looked like they were about to get away with it and finally become the trios champion. If it wasn't for that meddling Claudio or that meddling Swiss man that loves doing swings for some weird reason, like I was like, man, like what is up with him acting like the Scooby Doo gang, like for them to be meddling in and solving the mysteries. This is where them. And this was the second straight time in a row, but this is where we got Adam and Roddy then try to go for a double super. They end up getting suplexed by the Swiss man. This is where we got Willa Yuta then got back in control. This is where we got. This is where the Pac that was a legal man tags in Willa Yuta. This is where they try to go for that exact same finishing maneuver, that fastball special maneuver that they're doing. Like if it. Wait, what am I talking about? Like. But that's where we got. That's where then everybody was fighting each other like before they can even hit the move the second straight time like a guarantee. It's where then we. That's where we saw like Adam Cole taking care of Claudio and Roddy was against Pac. But that's where we got Willie Yuta low blow Colorado because both of the men were the legal man now. With Rick Knox not acknowledging it, this is where he goes for the wheelbarrow roll up, which is kind of the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling. And they get the 1, 2, 3. And still y'all's AEW World Trios Championships, as much as I would hate to say this, but it's the Death Riders. But this word that we got, but luckily this wasn't gonna be this won't be they're gonna be having the last laugh. Well, at least in a way, probably not until I'll say the last laugh, maybe until later on. But yeah, let's just say that we got justice was quarterly served. I guess if that's the right term to put it as, because what the rated R superstar was getting ready to plan on doing. But this is where we got Claudio and Pac and what's his name and Willie Yuta trying to do some insult to injuries of doing the post match beatdown on the poor Undisputed Kingdom. But luckily we got Danny and 2.0 that came out to scare them off, like let them know that they want those trios titles. Is where and the way they completely ignored him, like if nothing was even none of this was going on. But it's where we got Marina Shafir for some reason, like trying to scare trying to scare the cameraman, but this is where her and John Moxley was trying to go in the room. But it's where Copeland he came out of nowhere with a steel chair and whacked him back when what's her name was getting ready to attack him. Marina Shafir, but this is where he threw her in the left side of the room, trying to lock her in there. With Jay White came in to help her out to find the whole hold still yeah, I got something this way, grab a pliers, and then clip the chain off, right into the door. That's where then John Moxley came in, and that's where Moxley didn't help save the day, but this was too late because they already took in a briefcase that contains the AEW World Championship and that disgusting toxic water from John Moxley's hometown of Cincinnati. But let me know down in the comment section right down below, what exactly they were planning on doing with that briefcase, which I was hoping anything. But first, make sure that the AEW World Championship safe because that's a beautiful piece of gold. Well, Cope will make sure that everything will be okay in that part and what's inside the briefcase. But that's where then we got a backstage interview with Renee Paquette and start talking about when he's gonna be taking on Jeff Jarrett, was it? Or no, what I'm talking about, it was actually, what am I talking about? It was against Dustin Rhodes, of course, which was the tying best wrestling match of the night next to the tag team championship match, which I thought was going to last for at least a good hour or even a little bit less. But it was only for 15 minutes, but we're going to talk more about that in just a moment. But that's where then Renee Paquette was trying to ask questions to Maxwell here about with Dustin Rhodes is having the home field advantage is some kind of disadvantage to having the home field considering this is his hometown will give you some kind of a disadvantage. And that's where MJF did not acknowledge anything what she just said. Just getting to the point of what exactly gonna be doing by saying I'm gonna let Dustin tonight he's gonna make him the plea and bow down to the devil. He's in that face paint that you put on your old stupid face is gonna hide all your shame, buddy. And then it's but this is where then Hangman Adam Page then came in with face to face going to another obnoxious heel to another by saying get the hell out of this interview booth. He was like, it's my turn now. Get out. This is where MJ's like, excuse me, who told you to say this? No, this is where then Hangman Adam Page like, it doesn't matter. Just get out. And that's where then MJ okay, angry over hyper cowboy. It's where and that's where then MJF then they're okay, but I'm gonna be honest, you smell great. He was like, wow, I did not know Jack Daniels just came out with a new cologne product. And I would start dying with laughing, you just ruined it. I just went there. which I give it the bronze trophy of the night. But anyways, it's where that's where Hangman Page and I with MJF said. That's where he's like, it's been 5 years. He was like, yeah, it's been 5 years. It's good enough for you. That's where MJF was I'm not highbrow in here. It's kind of interesting. Because whatever this is that's on your jacket, well, it's not you. But with MJ saying amazingly, I'm saying this, but you don't have the stomach for it either. And then this where they you deep down you know that with him pointing out that Hangman Page wants a match against him, which probably won't be happening right now, but because and that's where you're not gonna get no sympathy like a lost puppy because we're because you lost your friends and your home and for what you really want a little apology it's not just because these two smugs actually believe I gotta be these stupid ass smugs believing you because And it's and it's not about you, Hangman. It's about MJF, and it's the lack of respect. And then you, and you, Dustin, they're pretending be being those guys that actually earn y'all respect when you don't because you just brainwash these fans with these lies. You're like, and I'm gonna take out, I'm gonna take out Dustin Rhodes, and I'm gonna finish what's been started, like from this other old legend from 40 years ago, with this other old man, like with a fib, and then I'm gonna go back and go after for a title that I've been looking for, trying to capture right back year and a half ago. And that's my Triple B AEW World Champion. He's like, and see you around, Cowboy Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Like, and then this where then he walked right out of there. This where Hangman Page gave him a deck, like a like a wordless death stare when Renee Paquette was about to ask him a question, but this is where Hangman Page was like, no, just a moment, like when him I just look at him just fading away out of the distances. But what are your thoughts onto this tease of this feud between Hangman and Maxwell? Do you think that they're going to be having a future showdown down the line? Let me know down in the comments. But it's where we got Katsuyori Shibata and Samoa Joe and Hook. They came out, they take on these guys, Aaron Solo and these two other guys I cannot remember by name. But yeah, they just completely wiped them out from the ring. It's where we got Katsuyori Shibata and Samoa Joe got one of these guys that were teaming there, and so started taking turns, hit some knife edge chops right onto his poor man, which they probably like, which they probably, I'll say, which they probably if they probably got into the how many place list, like Samoa Joe at third place and Katsuyori Shibata at fourth. But this is where then they double Irish whipped him. This is where we got Katsuyori goes for a slide duck. Samoa Joe then did the slowest trip that I've ever seen in professional wrestling, like out of comedic effect, which it definitely worked for me, the fans, and even the commentators onto this night, which yeah, definitely gonna get the blue ribbon of the night. But this is where we got Here's where the Samoa Joe the flying senton. This is where Samoa Joe hits him with the Kokita clutch, get the tap out submission win, and the winner of this match by submission, the trio of Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Cook. And this is where then they then send a message to the patriarchy. Here's where Samoa Joe introduced like the two guys that's like family to him. He was like, "My name is Samoa Joe." Like, and this guy on my left is my brother, like Hook, and he's like, and then the other brother in my right, this is Shibata, and that's where fans start cheering for them. That's where Samoa Joe continue on. Like, yeah, week after week, we come out here, like, and everybody in the world asks me, like, what is this all about in question? Like, well, I'm gonna tell you, like, because you see, like, what stands before you is three of me that go everywhere that always have a misunderstanding, like that don't, like, and our answer is violence with the very smooth whispering voice that he just said. That's where fans start chanting Joe repeatedly because he is the fan favorite of any wrestling company he works for. Like, and they even showed that when he was in the other two companies, they used to be rivals with one another. They're now partners. But this is where Samoa Joe's like, and this is where he's like, in patriarchy, we always have a problem. We'll beat y'all. That's my souls. And then this is where Samoa Joe's like, because you see what's standing there, like, or the ops, and that's exactly that what we are. Like, we're gonna hunt you down our street, like we will hunt you down in this ring, like, and you will be caught lacking. And then this is where the Samoa Joe end the promo by saying, like, which that leads me to you, Christian, the father of the patriarchy. This is where then and that's where then he challenged him into a fight. Like something like, this was like, it could have been very simple between the two of us. He's like, all you had to do is not hide, take your time, ass out in the ring, and be a man, and sort out a business. But no, you just keep continuing to hide from the op. And then this is where then, and this is where it continues. Like, since I can't take you out of your dress, it is where it's like, this is where it is like, and since I can drag your ass out of this your chicken room and kick your cowardly ass, coward ass, chicken ass, coward ass, or chicken ass coward self, like in this ring, and this is where, like, because you're probably at home watching this, and this is where the Jordan with this That's where fans are chanting chicken ass, like when Samoa Joe said. That's where then he did a little cluck like "Go-gar," and that's where a lot of hilarious, fun, like continuing his blue ribbon fourth place spot of the of the uh of the Goofy Wrestling of the Night Awards is where that's where how about the Patriarch gets the ops, and then that's where he just ended up doing the challenge for next Wednesday, which they will be fighting in a tag team match on the post show Dynamite after Grand Slam. Who do you think is going to walk out with the victory? Hopefully, it's going to be the Ops, like because that'll be a perfect way to end this feud. Well, actually, the perfect ending will be with Samoa Joe finally taking on Christian, no matter who wins that match, of course. But it's where then we got But it's weird that we got what's her name, Renee Paquette, then did something wrong because she then disrespected a learning tree member, like it wasn't Chris Jericho, or else Brian Keefe will let her have it. Well, I'm not sure if that would be not much the gentleman thing to do, but he probably wouldn't even care. But luckily, none of that didn't happen. But it was with her like basically just embarrassing the student Brian Keefe for not successfully defeating Bandito, and then this where then she start bringing up about anything about the $2,000 reward. That's when Chris Jericho's like, that's what he's like, well, like, since I'm not gonna be paying $2,000, well, like I was actually thinking about like paying double or triple for like Bandito, like out of AEW for good, like, but Renee, well, Renee, like, I want to ask my student here, Bad Apple Brian, like, you did not did a bad job. You did pretty okay. Like, you almost had him right where you, but and it's like, and instead of this going off on you and start scolding you, like what the learning tree would teach you is to learn from your mistakes. Like, and he's like, so this is gonna be a teachable moment for you, Bad Apple, because tonight I want you to watch and learn, like as I correct the bounty, like from the bounty out of Bandito. Like, and as for you, Bandito, like I want you to get in the ring right here, right now, because I challenge you, like in a showdown, in a Western showdown. That's where Brian Keefe let her have it without not doing no hands, which was probably for the best, like for him to do, like to let her know that it was not the right thing to do. She needs to go back to her journalist school because like it's definitely not working as a professional. That's where Brian Keefe then told her, "Don't you ever embarrass me, or else like he's gonna probably kick her husband's ass," which I would like to see him do that and knock that toxins of Cincinnati off of him. But anyways, this is where we got. But moving on, we got to the next slide, which I believe was Chris Jericho. Taking on Bandito because I think Jericho's undefeated with this guy because he's like the only man that can hunt down or can take down Bandito and put him in, take him in, if I could, and bring him to justice or whatnot. But before we got into that, is where we got Renee Paquette then went through a backstage interview like from Jericho and Brian Keefe to Willow the Pillow. And this is where she even pointed out that she will be heading over to Japan very soon. But before she can even mention anything about it, this is where she immediately got attacked by the poor Pillow got attacked by Marina Shafir. This is where she got in her sleeper hold. And then, and that's where the John Moxley sent a message to the what's his name, Cope. He was like, Copeland, and that's where like you play fire with fire. Like, well, I think like you're completely pathetic. And he's like, and you are a dead man walking. And that's why I start shouting in the air, like if he's the bitch man Okada saying, he's not the Undertaker. So why is he mentioning that name? But anyways, that's where then we got Chris Jericho came out. This was like we're about to do like a little unsanctioned Western showdown, which I thought this was actually gonna turn into a match. But the thing was, like we saw, like somebody attacked him from behind, like right after they took each other's cowboy hats, so which I forgot to tell you that he was wearing in the backstage interview with Renee Paquette. This is where he took that off. This is where Bandito took his stint off. This is where like we're about to hit a very cold-blooded, dirty down or yeah, get down dirty street fight. But but I think somehow Bandito disrespected the teacher of the learning tree because here comes Brian Keith, attacks him, and start beating his ass. But this is where then Chris Jericho joined him. This is where then luckily the Outrunners came out to save the day. And this is the very rare to see like like two guys coming in to save one guy in the 2-on-1 beatdown because instead of evening the odds or doing the wrestling math exactly how it is, they overdid the math. And not in the incorrect way, but in the much more correct, like adding some more addings into the wrestling match by adding another guy in there, like which is ottering up the otters, I guess you could say. Which that's a new term now I'm gonna be using now. Like whenever like there's baby faces that's coming in to help with one lonely heel, like the make the heels outnumbered. But anyway, this is where we got big. This is where Big Bill tried to come in. Like and when once the Outrunners got Jericho and Keith, this is where the Redwood grab on the paper saying like I got the paper and I want to hunt down the bounty. And this is where then he's like, and that is you, Ben. You know, this is where Jack over chokes. This is where Powerhouse Hobbs came in. This is where he's starting some big punches right. This is where Big Bill goes for a punch right back. This is where Powerhouse Hobbs started hitting some elbow strikes, sends him right to the upper right corner side. That's where Bandito came in from the upper left side, hits a Gamangiri right on the big, with Powerhouse House picking him up in the air, hits a double A spine buster right into the middle of the room, with him getting looking in the screen like saying, again, this. Like yeah, like this is gonna be like that is gonna that's what's gonna be like anytime any place when we do challenge Big Bill. This is where then Bandito put on his cowboy hat on. This is where the This is where then what's his name Bandito then neatly put the what they call what's they called the what's that the bounty. This is where he put the what they call the bounty hunting what they call the reward flyer right on top of Big Bill. So you're gonna keep that. And I'm sorry to say this, you're not gonna be getting no 2 or 4 or even 6,000 whatever Chris Jericho offers you. Whether it's the singular or the double or the triple, like you're not gonna get anything of this amount of money to take me out. But what are your thoughts onto the segment? And do you think this was totally delivered? Let me know in the comments down below, by the way. But let me tell you one thing that was tied with the silver trophy of Goofy Wrestling of the Night, along with Brian Keith, telling Renee that don't you ever don't you ever embarrass me don't you ever embarrass me in front of my teacher Chris Jericho. Like, which I hope that he does kick her husband's ass for if she ever does it again. But that's where Jay White and it's Johnny, like Johnny boy, like, are you missing something with Cole? Grab onto the briefcase, get in. And this is where he's like, and this is like, don't forget about the precious cargo. Like, when I was like, man, Jay White, just can I get a break of stealing somebody else's AEW championships? Like, with this being the particular belt he's always keep taking, but even though Cole was holding on to it. But anyways, where we got Jay White's like you don't worry about this briefcase. You just worry about you getting ready for this Saturday at Grand Slam for Australia because me and the Radar Superstar are gonna are we're gonna paint what the true key is. That's where the Copeland pointed out that Copeland pointed out to Jay White that he held briefcases like this before. We wondered what kind of reference gag that he was doing, like what he done like back in what's that called? And his time over at the other company when he held a briefcase that guaranteed him a shot at a world championship. But the thing is, like, you don't need a briefcase to earn himself a shot at the world championship because let's just say that Cope challenged him for a revolution, which it turned out to be official from Anthony Khan. But yeah, this is where we got. That's where Cope was like, I held this briefcase a few times, but that's where he quickly changed something like, anyways, which is probably for the best. Nobody that probably did not understand will catch on. Like the guy that's gonna get that's gonna tell them that they're in trouble if they reference the other company way too much. That's where it's like, but anyway, Moxley, like I've been all over the place. Like I knew, like, and I know you've been everywhere around the place, but you know, But you and I both know that you don't have the weapon to keep uh, down for good. Like if you want this briefcase back, like all you gotta do is meet us in the ring, and then you give me my shot at the AEW World Championship. What do you say? And that's where then we got the answer from the current AEW World Championship, which I already gave you the spoilers, but I'm gonna get into all of the details once I get into the end of the show. But let me know down in the comment section right down below who do you think is going to win the AEW World Championship in the month from now at Revolution after this event, which which is Grand Slam. But this is where we got Dustin Rose that was the backstage interview with Renee because like last week, like you've been you had an awfully lot of things to say. Like, but you got any words to say about MJF like in your match in your hometown? This was give a shout out to the city that they were on because the city that they were at locate and where they were located at. I should rephrase that. And it's possibly the capital of this is the capital of Texas, which they possibly named it after your boy SNA here, which is Austin, Texas, and it's where then he gave a huge shout out saying yeah, Maxwell taking from me. I told you, I'm gonna bring the devil. Well, he is here, and you're gonna about to find out why I am the last of my kind. And he called him the B bomb, which is bitch. But that's what I'm gonna say. Renee Paquette was getting very excited about MJF getting his butt kicked because she never forgot what MJF said about her and John Moxley about meh or something like that to them. But whatever joke that gag that he did from 2 or 3 years ago, but what they deserve it now. Thinking about now, looking at it right now, like for them being horrible people. So I see why Maxwell Jacob Freeman did that. I gotta give kudos for that. Even though I'm not really crazy for Maxwell, but I can understand what exactly he did that for. Like if you've been taking a mile in his shoes, like you understand why. But anyways, where we got the Here's where we got Dustin and took on Maxwell Jacob Freeman, which Maxwell didn't take long at all to get into the offense by going for a snapper, but it's where he started going back and forth by going left, right, left. This where then he did a little fake knee strike, which was perfect, which was obvious was noticeable because he wanted us to notice that just to make fun of Dustin and his fans. And Austin is where you can put your little odd unicorn horns on because your magical fairy tale ending is going to come into a nightmarish end. This is where we got. Oh, yeah, tell them I said what's up to them as well. And tell them welcome on to the SNA podcast. Yeah, hello, new assassinators. Yeah, I'm glad that y'all watching this. This is a very intriguing episode of the SNA podcast, which I'm talking about the February 12th edition of AEW Dynamite. And I hope that y'all are being intrigued on what exactly I'm talking about here in the into the not Nashville, the Jacksonville-based company, which is AEW, of course, which is owned by the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shaif Khan, which his son is Anthony Khan, but it's Tony for short. I just like calling him the proper name because it's a good, catchy name. But anyways, is where we got Dustin Rhodes then was cornered right to the upper left corner side by Maxwell Jacob Freeman. That's where then he started patting him right in the back of his head. That's where I'm gonna make this very easy for you, old buddy. And this is where he started hitting with some big left hands right into the right side of his head. This is where he started doing this. The Dustin Rhodes used to do when he was over at the other company that's from Stanford. And this where before he could do the up like this where he gave everybody the finger. This where the fans start booing like boo. Like why did you do that for? This where we got. But this where the Dustin Rhodes then somehow got back up, slams Maxwell right to the other side. This where then we got Dustin Rhodes then. This is where the Maxwell they go for a big right hand. Dustin Rhodes ducks out of the way. This is where he kicks him right in the gut. This is where he does this kind of hand motion. This is where he hits a big old uppercut. This is where then he hits a gut buster. This is where then he goes to the top corner side, hits a boot right into his face. This where the Dustin Rhodes going up right up on the top rope and try to give a taste of Maxwell's medicine from earlier, but except when I hitting him with his left hand rather than the opposite hand, the right, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 10, with him doing the, and then he's like, boom, and hit him with the right hand. Dustin Rhodes then went for try to go for a running bulldog. That's where then he ends up hits the move right onto the salt of the earth. That's where then he got himself right back up. That's where Dustin Rhodes then spin around because he had a big spinning ovation from the fans of Austin. But this is where then we got this is where the Dustin Rhodes to try to go for the spinning neck breaker Majiki maneuver, but Maxwell then counter out of the final reckoning, which I believe that's what the name of the maneuver is. This is where he try to go for arm bar, but this is where he gets thrown right to the bottom corner side, try to go for a split, but he ends up getting elbow strike. This is where he gets knee strike right into the face. This is where we got this is where he was like, my head, and this is where we got and Maxwell taking Freeman go for an armbar, like, and this is where then Dustin Rhodes flips him over into what they call a crucifix, but this is where it only got him a 2 point, what was that? Dustin Rhodes like a 2.7, was it? But that's when we got MJF and had a huge grin when he picked up what's name Dustin Rhodes right in the back of his head, like he got him right underneath his arm with his face underneath his arm, like about to hit him. A very similar maneuver from a certain nightmarish wrestler that's from America, actually from Georgia, right in Texas, like his brother, like here, like he tried to, he was doing a wing wing nudge nudge situation, like to do a finishing maneuver, like the former colleague and Dustin Rhodes' brother maneuver, which is the crossroads, which that's the only detailed name I'm gonna call it the finisher because he used to use it on AEW too. But that's where we got Dustin Rhodes. Then went counted out of it, hits his own version of the crossroads right onto MJF like if he's his brother, the man that's a nightmarish American, I guess you could say. But that's where the all natural one try to go for a pin, but it's where MJF kicked out at the last second of 2.99999999, minus 0.1 away from being 3. But this is where we got Dustin Rhodes trying to go for another maneuver, but this is where we got what was the MJF then countered out of it when he picks him right back up. I believe he'll try to go for the reckoning, but this is where before he can even attempt the maneuver, MJF had go inside cradle, but Dustin Rhodes countered and took a page out of his playbook at 2.2. And he ends up getting denied at 2.4 by Maxwell. This is where he tried to go for a back suplex. Maxwell flipped right out of it. MJF then tried to go for arm twisting and hits a pop-up pile driver. Well, not a pop-up, but a sit-out pile driver action. This is where MJF never got the 3 from this all alone, but this is where then he kicked out at the last second of 2.999. Out of 9 dims, minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where you should have saw Maxwell's face, which was kind of hilarious. Like, you're like, how did this happen? Like, no, he was stunned. He was stunned with looking at the right corner side of the ring. And that's where fans are chanting, "Let's go, Dustin," because he wasn't as like this is where shouting out his name, "Let's go, Dustin," because he was in his hometown of Austin. And man, I was like, and if they pronounced Dustin in a different way, then it would kind of probably rhyme with Austin. But since A is a vowel and it got a different kind of sound than D or J or any other word that sounds similar to Austin, but it's Dustin or Justin. But yeah, this is where we got MJF. Went right to the right corner side, grab onto a steel chair. This is where the MJF then to try to go for this is where he's about to hit about to end what's the name of onto Dustin Rhodes where he tried to go for the try to go for the try to break what's his name Dustin Rhodes' arm by putting it around his arm, the chair. This was like about to stop on it, but luckily the referee was there to try to stop him. But this is where MJF was like, if you get in my way, I'm gonna do the same to you, like I did to Dustin. This is where the referee did not give a damn what he had to say about. They didn't even give a damn on what he was about to do, and this is where he grabbed the chair out of Dustin Rhodes' arm, which was probably for the best. But yeah, that's where we got Maxwell to go up right up on the middle ropes. Dustin Rhodes then trips him over by grabbing onto the left rope and makes him went right into the middle ropes, hits him right into the family jewels. I'm like, it looks like seems like him and Alicia Tout won't be proud parents anytime soon. But anyways, this is where we got Dustin Rhodes then going for the all natural, low blowing him, kicking him right into the jewels to add to more painful measures into Dustin's finisher arsenal. This is where he picks him up, hits the super twisting, the end of reckoning, or the final reckoning, that's what it's called, the final reckoning. That's where he tried to go for a pin when the referee was looking after he got rid of the chair. That's where he goes for one, goes for two. But Maxwell kicks out at the last second of 2.99 WMI point away from being three. That's where I was starting to have second thoughts. I'm like, don't tell me he's going to pull off an upset. And I was like, this is actually a good upset that I would like to see. But Maxwell persevered and he did not let that be it. That's where he got the guarantee. But he tried to go for a third time, tried to put the third time's a charm. But Maxwell flipped him right out of the move. This is where Maxwell started looking right into the corner. He's like, I finally got you. Right where I want you, old man. This is where then he picks up the 55 or 56-year-old. That's where he goes for a final reckoning of his own. Insult to injury, talk about. That's where he almost got a three. But that's where we got Dustin Rhodes barely kicked out at 2.9. That's where MJF then quickly acting, hit his finishing maneuver, his own finishing maneuver, the submission armbar. That's where he's like, tap out, let go. Tap out, I'm not letting go. That's where Dustin like, no, I'm not. That's where then he turned into a crossface, which he put him to sleep for the match, and this is where then MJF was still continuing to crank the neck of Dustin. This is where we got Maxwell Jacob Friedman then continued to try to do a post-match beatdown, even kicking out the referee by threatening him. He's like, yeah, I told you, if you get in my way, I'm going to do exactly what I'm going to do to Dustin. That's what everybody did. But luckily, the referee was there to get out of the way. I'm like, phew, that was a relief. But anyway, this is where Dustin Rhodes just started continuing. MJF was going to go for what they call the armbar right onto what's his name, to Dustin Rhodes. That's where it is. And he's like, let go. That's where the cowboy that called himself Sugar Honey Iced Tea and came out. Hey man, I basically chanting it. But the fans started chanting his nickname, which I already said, which I'm not going to say it again because it sounds a little bit too inappropriate. But anyways, that's where Maxwell Jacob Freeman looked like about to leave. Like, all right, I'm leaving with him. When Hangman Page was trying to tell him, get out of my ring, even though like I already wrestled here tonight, like just like he kicked him out of the interview booth. But that's where before MJF was about to attempt to escape through the ropes, that's where he ends up spearing Hangman out of Page, bring him down to the ground. So he hits some punches right onto the cowboy, but this is where Hangman out of Page started fighting back, boom, boom, boom. That's where he got on top of him, started hitting punches him. That's where the security guard started grabbing him, trying to break him up apart. That's where he's like, no, like not right here, not right now. But they were not giving the darn what the security guards do, because sometimes, like the security guard, not most of the time, security guards suck in professional wrestling, just like my boy Simon Miller said. Like, because he should know, because he used to be a security guard. He even did a security work with AEW before when he was trying to break things up with Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro. But anyways, this is where we got what's his name? MJF was trying to escape out of the back exit. This is where Hangman Page was falling after, but this is where he got him right on top, right up to the back entrance, right on top. This is where he thought he was a punch. This is where he started going back. This is where MJF started trying to choke Hangman Page right onto that bar part, like right on his neck, right to the top. This looks like about to throw him out off the top of the back entrance. This is where but this is where luckily the referees and security guards finally break it up before they can even attempt to do so, of trying to kill him for whatever reason. That's where the fans start chanting, let them fight, because wrestling brawls are always something interesting to see, to build things up to a future feud and a match down the line in a big huge event. But that's where Hangman Page is like, I'm gonna get your ass. Once these, as soon as we get everything scheduled and all put together, when I hear from Anthony Khan when we're gonna have our match, I'm definitely gonna give you all. I'm gonna promise I'm gonna give you when we meet in whatever event it may be, this is where MJF was like, oh, when are mocking him, saying but guess who's the winner of this fight? Like, if I could be the winner of this battle, I want imagine who's gonna be the winner of the war. This is where then MJF then grab a drink from a fan, which the fan offered him, which that was a very dumb idea from the fan because he grabbed onto his drink and threw it into his face, and that should be a lesson that you should see tonight on AEW, especially if he's a heel. Like, do not never give MJF a drink because he's not going to drink after you, first of all. And second of all, even if you didn't drink out of it, he still would genuinely do that because he is a complete douchebag. But it's where then we got the people's scumbag then getting into the ring, which is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, got onto the microphone. He was like, you were saying that you let me and Hangman fight, right? Fans were saying, yes, right. Here's the problem. I'm ready to go, but your boy, like, and that's where he's like, your boy, the cowboy, sucks at fighting, and he's afraid of me. Like, that's why he had the security referee to escort him out of there because he's a gutless coward, which how much of that makes it. That's where he said, you're not coming back out here, Hangman, because he's a loser, like each and every single one of you boys in the city of Austin. And I was like, if this was any other city other than that best city of the United States, Kansas City, like, I would be saying, I would be saying, like, maybe that could be true, like, unless if it's any other cities that's on my list that are the best cities of America. But Austin happens to be one of them, so I took offense to that considering my name. Because if you think the city of Austin, Texas sucked, it's like saying Super Ninja Austin sucked because they got the name after the assassin. But anyways, this is where we got that's where Hangman Page came in and teach him a very valuable, hard-hitting lesson. Even though Hangman Page did it for your boy SNA, he just did it for himself because he is a selfish bastard. But that's where he started hitting some right hands right into the face, onto the. That's where fans start chanting, "Let him fight." But finally pulling them back away from each other, but then finally getting MJF out of the ring. But it's where then they went to the powerful force in all professional wrestling, which is the commercial break. But they did a hype up video for everybody, like they did like the other company did yesterday on their developmental show on their pay per view that's gonna be on the same night is AEW Grand Slam, which it featured like the Continental Championship, the AEW the big main event level tag team match between John Moxley, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli against Jay White and Cope. And then also we got the TBS Championship, and that was shown, and also the AEW Women's Championship, the what other matches that's gonna be on the card? Like so many matches that I totally forgot already. Like what's gonna be on the card. But that's where they got Hangman out of Page and then took out the referees. Like even though the referees were what they called were basically were very struggling from holding them from MJF. But once they were out, this where they just eventually let go because it was a little relief that they don't have to worry about chasing them down because they're taking the blows for themselves. But yeah, that match between Maxwell and Dustin, I would say is definitely going to be getting the golden trophy next to the main event match, which I'm gonna get into in just a moment. But before I get into that, like I want to say, what was your thoughts on the match? Let me know in the comments. I thought it was going to last for like a good 45 minutes to an hour, but no, it lasted for 15 minutes. And then plus we got a post-match beatdown, making it for like a good 5 minutes, I guess you could say, which that was probably for like, but yeah, since this was probably like 20 minutes combined, like along with the match segments together. But this is where once they got done with the advert, this is where we got Megan Bain finally got her second match of her official debut in AEW. Like this was against this enhancement talent that's from the area of Austin, which is the local talent, I guess you could say. Here's where she completely squashed her, and once she got done, like bringing her down, like and being lifeless, that's when she picks her up and hits her own version of that F5 maneuver, which I believe is called an F100 in Megan's sake, because she's some kind of I don't know what to call her, like some kind of goddess or empress, like that's from above. I guess that's her gimmick is. like some kind of other not golden goddess, more likely a large, like a huge powerhouse goddess. I don't know what to refer her as, but yeah, after hitting her with plenty of belly to belly suplexes, it felt like a little bit of eternity. Even though it didn't even last like even for 2 minutes. That's where she went for the 1, 2, 3 winner of this match, Megan Bay. But that's where we got an interruption. Like once she was about to leave the arena, like this is where then she got interrupted by somebody. But surprisingly, it wasn't Thunder Rosa. But it could be somebody. But it is somebody that could align with Rosa against what Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, considering who she was about to face next. Like would give us that answer. And it's the girl that kind of let water go right through underneath the bridge of the grievance of her basically power bombing me right through a table, and that is Kristen Statlander. This is where she came out went face to face to Megan Bain, like which I believe she heard that she could possibly be the replacement of Camille for Mercedes Monet, but that's a different story for a different day. But and we're not kind of rhyme right there, like. But so that's absolutely true. But anyways, where we got Kristen Statlander had a match against Penelope Ford, which that was pretty intriguing. Like, which I'm not sure, like if it's gonna get the top five spot of the best match of the night, but it was pretty tremendous. Like showing like what, like and even in random non-title women's match, which probably gonna turn to an angle, but which you're gonna be seeing afterwards. But it's where we got Kristen got Penelope Ford to the left corner side, like. That's where, not the right corner side, draped her right into the corners where she tried to go for what they call what maneuver? What was the like when she did go for a leaping dodge, like into a sunset flip onto Chris, but this is where she flipped right over, hit a missile drop kick. That's where then we got. That's where then Kristen tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Penelope kicked out of it at 2 point. What was it like? That's where then you go. This is where then Kristen Statlander finally got Penelope into a suplex maneuver. This is where then we got the former TBS champion and was flexing her guns like, yeah, look at these babies. And yeah, she's very impressive for being a women's wrestler. Like, yeah, that's very impressive. But even though, with all due respect, I've seen a bit better. But anyways, this is where we got Kristen going for a German suplex right onto what's her name to Penelope Ford. But this is where Penelope Ford fired back, threw her right to the bottom corner side. This is where she got sent time right to the corner when the partial powerful force was on. But once he got done with all the adverts, like this is where we got Kristen was back in control. Like, and this is where she took. That's where then she took on took Kristen go for a European uppercut. That's where she tried to go for a boot right when she went to the left side. But that's where we got what's her name pin up before we have one hit her version of a boot, turn it to a backbreaker. This is where she tried to go for a pin on the Chris. But this is where then Statlander kicked out at 2 point. What was it? 4. But this is where Penelope then went up right up on the top rope. This is where then she tried to put her away, trying to go for the I get some kind of a moonsault, but Kristen then smartly got back up, hit a big old right arm right into the back of Penelope. This is where she hit the German suplex, and this is where then Penelope Ford shockingly and amazingly flipped right out of it. This is where then we got her then hit the stunner right onto Kristen. This is where we got Penelope Ford then going for a springboard, but this is where she tried to go for a senton, but she ends up getting German suplex, which the second time was the charm because it wasn't guaranteed. Because since it didn't work the first time, it's gonna work the second time. Yeah, can you watch some dishes in there for? Yeah, glad me too. You're welcome. But that's where we got Kristen Statlander going for a pin, but this is where we got Penelope kicked out at what's that 3? No, 2.3. But that's the other way around. But that's where Kristen Statlander was like, okay, no matter. Like, it was just a normal maneuver, nothing like special. This is where she tried to go for a firewoman's carry maneuver, which I assume was a signature. But that's where Penelope flipped right onto her shoulders with her legs on top, hits a poison rana. This is where we got sitting her right to the bottom right corner side. This is where we got. This is where it goes for a cartwheel flip into a back elbow. This is where Kristen then go for a sidewalk slam. This is where she ends up trying to go for fire scissors. But this is where Kristen brought her down neatly and hit her with a big devastating lariat. Then turned into the Wednesday Night Fever because it was Wednesday night. 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Kristen Statlander. But yeah, I guess I'll give her a big congratulations for the win, and then I guess great to see her back because she is a very tough, dominant woman and a force to be reckoned with. Which that's very understandable that she is so. But it's where then we got Megan Bain came out and tried to take a page out of Kristen's playbook and just distract her, maybe like what she did, or like what she did to Thunder Rosa when she faced what's her name, Penelope Ford. At first, I was thinking like maybe this could be a coincidence, but then again, with the second thoughts and stuff, like maybe that Penelope Ford and Megan Bain are working together in some capacity, and maybe this could lead into Kristen and Thunder Rosa who come together and join forces and take out this pairing. And man, I'll say, I'll say again, this is never, and even this is like, even though this is like 4 or 5 years later, like it never gets old of seeing Kristen being in a rivalry with Penelope Ford. I gotta admit, even though like Kristen Statlander, I never forgot about her power bombing right to a table, and she needs to be thrown right to a table in that caliber. But that's a different story for a different day. But this is where we got Megan Bain hits her with the F10 maneuver, F100, whatever you want to call it, like right to the ringside area. This is where the Megan Bain they did her little taunting pose, like right over the lifeless body of Kristen before they moved on, shifting gears into another segment. But what are your thoughts onto this women's feud? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But before I get into more of the recap, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take care of something, but I'll be right back in T minus 10 minutes, I guess you could say, perhaps. But see you then.
3 days? You told me that.
He said the Hunter and Four was for 3 days. And remember, I told you I read the paper that said 3 days.
Tell her we can get it on Friday.
Not her. It's the garden.
No, call the guard if you want to tell them we can get it on Friday. I'll come up with the money tomorrow. It was about it's $300.
Yeah, and they're gonna call you. Probably.
I'm gonna
They're gonna call you about it when they pick it in. So
probably tomorrow or Friday.
they'll call you and they have 3 days. And then if they don't hear from you, then they're gonna automatically send that. I think it'll be 3 days.
You can get his answer.
Did he ever call them? Or did he? Yeah, did he ever
Hey, baby, what's that? They don't like you. Look at this. Tell me something like this. Everything, baby. Now I see. I can't see that.
Good day, I had him on. Remember, let's call right here.
Good.
There's one going right here.
We need some.
I think they got a 6 o'clock call.
I'll be spraying the job in my body.
Did you look thoroughly or you not so not sure?
I need to look like.
A lot of them, it's right under.
Yeah. I did feel it under there, but I didn't feel it.
You can get them now. When I put light down, I see it.
I tried. It's fucking. He didn't supposed to be. We just leave in the morning and then they keep walking. 3 degrees, you don't have to keep walking for 3-degree weather.
But I'm sure they're gonna,
Monitor them walking.
no, they probably have a thing where they'll excuse them if they're.
My kid wouldn't be going to foot in 3-degree weather. I'd call me.
I'm sure they'll.
3 degrees?
The ones that have to walk.
Hey, it's 13 right now.
You
Somebody more.
didn't have to walk to a bus stop and wait for your bus to go.
That is, hey, 3 degrees. When it hits 30, I'll be like, oh, this is warm. Like what's the name of the 20, that, that, pretty.
Yeah, because they get 40 degrees.
It
But
felt
they
warm.
felt so good.
It felt like it was hot.
Yeah. It felt like 44.
And after Craig was funny one day. He said, I mean, I don't know, he was using an example. He said, I mean, coming from when it's 1 degree, and then it turns 30 or 40 degrees, and that's.
Just like whenever it's
Oh, he's talking about his wife. That's what he's talking about. Yeah, he's my 80-year-old boy. He likes to do things. You're right. It's a weird out. He said me and her are trying to figure out how we ain't doing this. No, about her she is like financially real because her friend is up front. So that's why something to do with her to have money for his business. Because he's not doing his best, but he's still doing okay. But he's not over the high, because that was what he was about. Even now it's not. Yeah, it does. I would not. Maybe like if you're younger and you're like 24, 25, and you're like 30, 40 years old, yeah. Like 40, you could have in past 40. Like it's a like it's one like if you were 40. The thing is, I would date you if you were 40. Yeah, no, it's like in the next decade. Like that's what I mean. So if I was in his situation, exactly, like that's not 20. I think 10 is the limit. 10 is the limit. It's the maximum limit. Yeah, depending where your age is. Not like our company. Oh, really? You want that younger love? The 14-year-old love. 15-year-old love. They're going to tell those investigators they're trying to kill him. Like 56 he's got it. I'm pretty sure. That old? Shit. Way too old. Would you rather use them?
And I said, leave him
Oh, I do feel bad about it. Like, you make fun of him and everything, but she's gonna have to start doing it at home, out. That's what her kids will start saying. Are they big friends? And he said she doesn't want to go nowhere. She wants to go to home, so we're gonna stick. So I think that's my dad. And I brought him up. He said, "Your dad had to do that." So he was going to do that, but he ended up still going. And I said, "But that's where we had a heart attack from." No, that was
outside.
outside. Yeah, yeah.
That was his first. Remember at the place, they
Right. Yeah. It's 10, 48. That's what I'm saying. Real, it starts at what? I got what, 7? Maybe 3 more. I'm gonna be 32. And it's especially if you boil it down. And whatever. I'm just gonna pick outfit that. That's all I'm gonna do. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. He had a big ass yellow and I'm going to next time. I don't know how many times I can go. Yeah, like every 30 days. I'm going to the other. They got stuff that we can use. They do. Oh, yeah, that's on point. Yeah, that's like my baby. No. think mommy did. When she was little, she filled up the table. Exactly, that's what's going on tonight. Exactly, it's the exact same thing, man. Too bad AEW Dynamite wasn't on that same time. Right. Then Tim Texas is enough, eh?
Yeah.
You sure he said 10?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to cut this?
At least cut them in half. But I can come in there and do it.
Yeah, probably. Never mind, I just killed it off. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 10 potatoes there enough, or you want more?
10 should be good.
All right. And like you said, you can make breakfast in the morning, so the potatoes right here.
Yeah, we can use them up.
We use the doing you know, use the washing the potato thing. I'm going to keep those. Thank you. Yeah. And that's just the only thing I'm using. No problem. But that's what to start. I did all 10 of those.
Alright, I'm about to come in there.
That did like 15 minutes.
I'm about to wrap them up and bring them out.
Okay. 10 potatoes here. What pan or pot do you want to put the spinach in?
Probably use the big black one.
You want me to cut them up?
Yeah, if you want to.
January 31st,
What?
2025. So do you want me to try to cut them like my mama? Baby spinaches? No better. I'm gonna be doing it all night. Just gonna hurt to peel all the stems off and try to cut them. Is that one? Did you know you have that big ass, the one that I keep trying to tell you about? You know you have what's it called with this chicken?
Oh, look, and these are already
See?
and they're organic. That's why they're so good.
The plum stems or what?
Yeah, go to raw. Raw fancy.
All right, let's do that.
If you want, if we have enough turkey bacon, you can do that.
All right, yeah, we'll make some turkey bacon too. We'll make it like we used to do. I need to, okay, I didn't help you. Okay, I'll talk to you. So what band do you want to put on? for me. You would have told me I was bought a pan from Walmart.
What do you do? Your great mother. Did she not?
Somebody cut him up, you said, or no? You got a plate for me? Okay, can you give me the thing? Kevin? Yeah. Look between the fucking things. Maybe one of the mop is getting sticky in this. Gotta find the mop is getting sticky in this. Gotta find the mop is getting sticky in this.
And you know how proper development about the way they don't do it?
Yeah,
They tear it up and don't even.
don't even fucking fix it. What are you doing, Howard? Why do you keep saying hard? What if they went other? No, what if they went other departments too?
All right, assassinators, I'm back here.
I don't know.
As what was it? It was
Yeah, I'm just. You didn't hear me because I came up to the door and I came in.
they got a very funny segment, which is not getting any type of not just getting any type of gold. We got like a silver, bronze, or golden trophy of the Goofy Wrestling of the Night. It's definitely getting the platinum trophy, and that's where then. This is where I thought it was actually was the CEO herself, like in her purple hair. This is where but this is where we got Harvey Cameron to turn her around, and it was none other than the puppet version of Mercedes. And that's where she started doing the CEO chant, and then she ended it by saying CEO, like she's gonna take her spotlight down under in her home country, and she's gonna and she's gonna steal her thunder. Yeah, that's what or something like that until like she got done with the rhymings and her version of the rap song of the CEO, which I gotta admit, like Harley Cameron did a very impressive job with the rhymings, even though like I don't see it better than the actual song of from the CEO. But anyways, is where we got Harley Cameron then went a little out of character, like after this little this little song segment number of some sort. This is where she was like, yeah, but she's like, not too long ago. Like, I didn't even know how to wrestle. As a matter of fact, like, I also there was no time that like I couldn't have time to sing or strum the guitar, but it pushed me to work harder. Like, and then and like I see girls like you could see they can do anything. Like it inspired me, and that's why I did the things that I did. Now I can know how to strum the guitar, know how to sing, and even perform in the squared circle, which that sounds very inspiring. Like yeah, like I just like hearing stories like this. This warms my heart. But anyway, this is where we got Harley to continue. She was like, I want to thank you, like for improving the women's division, which she totally had for the last 10 years. But anyways, this is where we got Harley Cameron continues like Harley like is gonna she's gonna finally win the TBS in her home country, and it's like as much as I would like to see her have her moment, it's just not gonna be against the CEO. But like we're gonna get into that later on. But this is where we got Harley Cameron is like it's just like. And I also want to ride the Monet train, and like, and I'm gonna riot, and I'm gonna make you feel the wrath. And then this where this, then we saw disappeared, and then she went to the, and this where they went towards the main event, and we get this very fantastic Golden Trophy of the Night award tag team championship match between the Hurt Syndicates, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, taking on the Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn, the sons of Billy Gunn. But this where, but yeah, this is where we got. This is where we got the match started. This is where we start off with Bobby Lashley and Austin Gunn because I guess they want to do a little gag about. Oh no, it was Colton Gunn actually, not Austin. This is where they went started. That's where MVP, or should I say Montel Vontavious Porter, properly speaking, like then joined the commentator saying, "Yeah, thank you for having me, even though you guys are lame as hell, but y'all still cool to hang around with at the same time, even like making it sound like it makes sense, even though it doesn't realistically, but figuratively, like it kind of does because like it's from one of the most phenomenal guys in all of professional wrestling. But anyways, this is where we got what start off with like with the fans are chanting like one half was chanting we heard people, and this is where the other half was chanting like no y'all don't, like which I thought that well last time they're really not going there like that. But this is where then we got the match started. This is where it's where then Bobby Lashley got what's in Colton Gunn in the headlock after hitting the back elbow. That's where then Austin Gunn or Colton Gunn actually just started trying to grab him his eyes, start poking him or scratching. This is where he got out. This is where he's like, "Follow me, I'm free." This is where he didn't not turn around, which Bobby Lashley was there trying to go for a clothesline. This is where we got Colton Gunn to go for what's that called? Gonna go for a leap dodge out of him, but this is where Bobby Lashley ends up hitting the shoulder tackle right onto Colton, poor guy with the ponytail, or the poor gun boy. That's the one that had the ponytail, or should I say, ass boys. Which even though like if their father was known as the ass man, I'm not sure that's a nice thing to say about him. But this is where we got. But this is where the Colton Gunn then ends up tagging in Austin, which Bobby was like, I want the guy that sounds like the city, like this lame city, which I kind of took at heart because that was very because that because it was very painful. This is where Bobby Lashley was like, "Oh, you want to go down, Austin?" Like it seemed like they claim that you're from Orlando, what they said when they were entering, but it seemed like you're like a Austin native, considering your name. But don't judge a book by its cover. But this is where Bobby Lashley throws Austin right to the bloodstone. This is where trying to go for a leap down, but Bobby Lashley managed to pick him up by the shoulder, power slam him right to the outside. I'm like, holy sugar honey iced tea, if not sherbet with some I'll say with honey icing, with holy sherbet honey icing, with what's the other tea part to go with? Teriyaki, I guess you could say, which that does not sound very delicious of a combination. But this is where we got what's his name, That's where Bob Lashley or Shelton, he tags and Shelton, we tossed him over the barricade. That's where Colton Gunn tried to come in for the aid of his brother. But that's where he nearly gets hit with the cane of MVP, which he threatened to the Gunn brother. But this is where Bobby Lashley hit the singular exploder suplex. That's where we got him then sent right to the bottom left side. That's where AEW went picture in picture. This is where we got. This is where we got. What else happened? It was Bobby Lashley throwing Colton Gunn right into the bottom corner of the barricade, start beating him down. This is where he tags in back in Shelton. This is where Shelton bringing the beating that he was giving him to lately. This is where we got. This is where we got Bobby Lashley throws Colton Gunn right back first, right into the barricade. Shelton then managed to bring him right back in there. But this is where we heard the fans chanting their opinions about who they're rooting for. With the one half was chanting for the Hurt Syndicate by saying, "We hurt people," and this where the other half was chanting, "No, y'all don't. We hurt people. No, y'all don't. We hurt." Like if it's a remix of the Hurt Syndicate's theme song. But this is where then we got Shelton Benjamin throws Bob doing the Bob's corner, Bob's way. This is where they double Irish whip Austin Gunn, but Austin somehow leap dodges right to the corner when Bobby Lashley tries to spear him, but he hits his right shoulder first, right onto the ring post in the part. Then he goes for a leap flip right over Shelton Benjamin, dodging him in the process. Tags in Colton Gunn. Colton Gunn ducks out of Shelton Benjamin's clothesline, hits a flying clothesline onto Bobby Lashley right into the upper left side. Then he went right back to Shelton. Then go for right strikes. Then they're trying to arch him to the upper corner side, but this is where it was like 2K24 when he gets countered and gets thrown instead. This is where Colton Gunn was not taking a maneuver from the gold standard of excellence as an answer, so he hit the flying clothesline like if he's that certain original chief of a certain tribe guy. But it's where we got. It's where we got Colton Gunn and go for a drop kick. This is where then he sends Bobby Lashley right into the floor. This is where we got Colton Gunn. Then holds for a splash. Then he kicks him right in the gun. This is where about his dad's finishing maneuver while doing a crotch chop, like if it's that legendary faction that Bully Gunn was on, which I'm not sure if I should mention them by name because like four out of the five are still over at the other company, so I'm not sure if I should mention them whatsoever. But it's where then you already knew, like, crotch chop, try to go for the famous but Bobby Lashley distracts him. This is where Shelton Benjamin try to go for a German suplex, but it's where we got Colton Gunn counters out of it, like try to go for a German suplex of his own. This is where he ends up trying to go for a wheelbarrow roll up. This is where he goes for a 1, 2, but it's where Shelton Benjamin gets the legs up. This is where we got Shelton goes for an ankle lock. This is where we got Colton then going for a sling blade right onto the standard of excellence. This is where then he's like, oh, Colton, are you doing okay? This is where then Bobby Lashley tried to go up for an attack, but it's where Bobby Lashley to try to. That's where Bobby Lashley tried to go for a brainbuster, but it's where Colton Gunn blocked the head of Colton Gunn from getting hit with a brainbuster when he flipped him right over. This is where he sent Bobby Lashley on the outside. It's where Shelton Benjamin hits a knee strike right into the face onto Colton, but this is where we got Colton Gunn hits the famous serve, something that they were trying to do to him in the first place, which was Colton. But this is where he tried to go for a pin, and this is where the Shelton Benjamin amazingly kicked out at 2.7. That's where MVP's like, yeah, they don't call him the standard of excellence for nothing. That's what MVP was shouting right into in the ringside, like saying, like, yeah, like this we call the Hurt Syndicate for a reason. This is where he tags in Austin Gunn. This was like about that flapjack face plant maneuver, double team would look like the Shatter Machine in the 3D, but Bobby Lashley ended up ruining it by attacking what's his name, Colton Gunn. But that's where we got Austin Gunn, like what he did to his brother. So he started hitting some punch like boom, boom, boom to Bobby Lashley right to the bottom right corner side. That's where he went back to Shelton Benjamin, but Shelton Benjamin hit a super kick out of nowhere, like they're trying to give the RKO a run for his money. I know I mentioned the name of a finishing maneuver over at the other company, but this is where we got Shelton Benjamin. Then was getting ready to hit the paydirt, I believe that's what's called his finisher. This is where he's like, come on, like guy wanted to show making a statement out of it. This where he tried to go for a German suplex, but he only did like one. This where he tried to go for a second one. This where he ended up hitting the second one as well. This is where he hit the third one. Like if he's just two amateur wrestling friends, like one that's a beast and the other one is an Olympian that won a gold medal with a broken neck. But this where then we got. That's where Shelton Benjamin threw him to Bobby right after he did that to Colton Gunn to the knee strike. That's where Bobby had to hit a spear out of nowhere when he went for the cover onto Colton to get the 1, 2, 3 and steal your All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Syndicate with MVP when the celebrates like, see, I told you they're gonna be the most dominant tag team in AEW, and that's where the celebration was immediately interrupted by a couple of guys that looked like there was only just a matter of time to go after a tag. That's where it had me more excited because that's where I was Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley was in their respective corners, and the bottom corners were Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. Then that's where then they went right up into. That's where then Shelton, that's where MVP's like, yeah, you guys, like, yeah, you're gonna. Like, yeah, y'all gonna be like the Gunn brothers, which was the Donald Callis family members of what's their names of Brian Cage and Lance Archer, which I cannot wait for when that match ever happens. And when do you think that's gonna happen? And do you think the Hurt Syndicate's gonna go through them like they did just the Guns like just moments ago? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But I would like to see this. I think they're gonna probably be like the baby faces since like Anthony Khan was probably like they're acting like the fans are cheering them like if they're the babyface, even against babyface tag teams that are fan favorites as well. Like so, like maybe they're teasing the face turn, but they're still gonna make them like into this heel-ish side, like some kind of a tweener, like in the tag team division until they lose those titles, and maybe they can work their way up of going into a babyface kind of faction. But this is where we got Mariah May, then was in the backstage interviews like Tony, like send a message to this was like, I thought I killed you, like I thought I killed you like this past August at All In, and if this was out of context, everybody probably think she actually did kill her, but she talking about like her as a wrestler, not as a person. But anyway, this is where then we got Mariah May, then say like, even if it did have a Mariah ending, like, well, like you can easily make a comeback. Like I already know that it's all part of it. But for your case, you just don't know when to stop. Period. Like beating you in your home country of Australia will not be the worst thing I'll do to you, Tony. And this word that she told her that if you let me beat me, I'll just think I'm gonna disappear. Like I'm gonna go in real life. Like Mariah did it better. And she was making it seem like that she's going to beat her in her home country, like she did to her home country at All In when they were in London, England. But anyway, this is where we got Mariah May to get, like, yeah, like Mariah did like because like everybody's gonna be remembering my name, unlike you, Tony. Like I'm gonna. Like Mariah could do, like you are nothing without me, like Storm. Like you couldn't exist without me. Now I was thinking like what are you talking about? Because like if it wasn't for Tony, like isn't it like the other way around? Like correct me if I'm wrong. If it wasn't for Tony taking her under her wing, like there wouldn't be no Mariah May. But you assassinators, let me know in the comments down below about that. And that's where you even assume that Tony's an imaginary friend. Like, which I would say, like I was just thinking the same about you. Like how we know you're not just an imaginary friend or a figment of Tony and everybody that's watching AEW's imagination, kayfabe, of course. But yeah, this is where we got Mariah Maiden. She was like she just uses the imagine. Now I'm just getting completely sick and tired of her. She's like so now, well, breathing in and breathing out. This was just like I just guess, like I really do love you, like I'm trying to say, because this is gonna be your merciful time to turn back. And this is where then they cut off and went to the adverts like break. This is where we got the rated R superstar and the Switchblade, which is Jay White and Cope, which they're gonna be taking on the dopes of Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley of the disgusting toxic death riders. That's where That's where they came out. It's like, I got the briefcase here, in Austin, Texas. Like, who's ready for who's ready for action? This was like, hear me out. Who wants to see me take out this AEW World Championship out of this briefcase? This where then he ends up trying to attempt to do so, but yeah, he tried to attempt to do so, but it was not just by his bare hands. Like, much rather be like with a very special weapon that's been gifted by a fellow wrestler, which I believe I'm not going to get in trouble for saying his name because he's a overall wrestling icon, and he's not exactly under a contract with the other company. And that is Mick Foley, and yeah, this is where he grab out this nailed board that had been given. He gave it a name, which I totally forgot about. What his name is? What was it? I totally forgot, but this is where he started using it, started whacking the briefcase, like with him saying, like, Death Riders, like, before he did so, this is where he shout out saying, like Death Riders, like, if you want to save your precious little briefcase with the with your very disgusting substance of water from Cincinnati, I would suggest you hurl y'all's crazy psychotic asses out here and stop me. This is where they ended up trying to do so, but it was too late. He started whacking it with the briefcase. By the time they got down on the ramp, this is where he started boom, boom, boom. This is where oh yeah, before also this is where John Moxley said, like, no, quit, don't do it. If it's like some kind of a, what's that called? Like, something that's giving them life. Like, what's that? Like, some kind of an antidote of some sort. Like with them keeping them alive. Like if they're a sick person. But yeah, this is what, like, if it's their, like, it's like they're like a drug that's keeping them that heals them, I should say. My point is that toxic, disgusting water. This is where they start begging and pleading, but this is where Cope was like, "Oh, I'll stop." Like, if this is where then Cope was like, "Why you care? Because it seems like you don't like evidently you don't care about this championship. Period." This is where then John Michaels, you don't think I don't care about this championship? I do care about this. That's why it is in the briefcase. They keep it sane into that briefcase, which but according to us, like, we think it's completely psychotic and mentally ill. Like, if you keep a championship in a briefcase, like, what are you gonna be doing? Like, how are you gonna be showing that you're a champion if if it's not showing around your waist or arms? Or shoulder, I should say. Let me rephrase that. But anyways, is where Cope then asked I will not do it. Like if you give me a shot at AEW Revolution, where they're going to be at the what they call the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California, which is, I believe, that's the place where the Los Angeles Lakers play for. Yeah. They play in that building in particular, but this is where John Moxley gladly finally granted his wish. But needless to say, Cope was just messing with him, saying, like, too late, and he started whacking his briefcase with this nailed bat or board, whatever it's called, whatever it is. Started hitting it right into the ground until it start opening. But unfortunately, he gets distracted by the likes of Claudio and Pac and Willa Yuta. But luckily, Jay White was there to send him packing. This is where then he hit the Blade Runner until Jay White had to step out for a second. This is where Claudio got back in the ring. But this is where Cope actually let the briefcase that contains the championship and the disgusting toxic water inside of the briefcase, like, unattended and unsupervised. So Marina Shafir can come in and capture the briefcase. And then this is where we got, which it had a couple of dents in and maybe a couple of piercings, I guess you could say, if briefcase can even have those. But this is where we got, but this all thanks to the nailed bat. But this is where then we got, what's his name, John Moxley, then goes up and try to attack him from behind. But luckily Jay White was there to save the day. But this is where then we got the Death Riders, and then we outnumbered both White and Cope. But this is where they start working together with Jay White, like scaring the likes of Pac and Willie Yuta off, like saying yeah, like, you don't want none of this. This is where then John Moxley came in back in the ring and then snatched the bat away from him, trying to whack him and whack him with it. But this is where Cope was was right behind him, attacks him, hits the, was it Impaler, was it? And then this is where I believe he was about to go for the spear, but this is where the Death Riders came in to save the day. Both White and Cope was on top, and I hate to say it, but it seemed like that the Death Riders are going to find a way to get a dub. Unless Cope and Jay White could correct me if I'm wrong. If it was the other way around, maybe I would already would assume that it's going to be the win because they're trying to build things up with Cope trying to become the champion. Unless what's his name? Unless if Cope is going to be planning to win the AEW World Championship. But we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But that was basically your AEW Dynamite. This was probably the best Dynamite I've seen yet, like from the past few weeks. And I would give it about, since it was like, even though it was like they did not have that much matches, but maybe it's for the best because everybody else was getting ready to head over to Australia, right down under, which is like a 10-hour flight, like when they go on the plane, which I believe they're already like probably at least halfway there by now. Like especially if they left like probably this morning or afternoon, like since this was pre-taped on yesterday when the same time when the other company show was on. But I'll give Dynamite probably 4.5 stars. And I do this to all the shows, but it's because that they mostly get like they just like it's because it's mostly like with mostly pretty good in some glances like whether if it's in matches or in segments like the AEW just knows just AEW just know how to satisfy their fans, like whoever that's a fan of their wrestlers, championships, match types, style, like whatever it is. Like yeah, they know how to deliver. And for those haters of AEW, like if you don't like the product, just you can share. It's nothing wrong sharing it online, but don't keep moaning and ranting about it and start talking poorly and negative about the company if you don't like it. Like it's like the old saying goes: if you don't like a certain show, just don't watch it. Like so, yeah. If it's not your cup of tea, just leave it like that. Like my boy, the Great One, would say. Like it's not for me right now. That's why I'm not really watching it right now. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to force others to not watch the product. Like even if I do see a problem about, like, and there's nothing wrong with giving some advice. Like that's what makes. Uh, but yeah, but that doesn't mean you should criticize it. Like, but there's nothing wrong. Like I said, nothing wrong with giving some advice on how to successfully book a very impressive wrestling show or pay-per-view or whatever event that they're showcasing on television or on a pay-per-view or even streaming platform like they're doing with Max at this case. But yeah, AEW did a super tremendous and stupendous job like on tonight's show. And yeah, again, it's getting 4.5 stars. Like, and this was the perfect show to watch just a few hours before like the time is gonna be for your boy SNA here to celebrate his special B day, I guess you could call it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button if you like it, and smash on the subscribe and post notification bells for more SNA content. And also, we're going to be doing the prediction segment right up next, like which I'm going to start off right now with is what match? I'll say the Continental Championship match, like which the starter with the hometown with the home or the hometown the home what's that called the home country native himself, Buddy Matthews, challenging Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship. And I think that is going to be a very super fantastic contest, like between these two international stars, like with them like having one goal in mind, and that is to become. I mean, that and one goal in mind, and that is to walk out of what that Grand Slam is the champion. And it looks like that. Unfortunately, I hate to say, as much as I like to see Buddy Matthews like hitting this moment in the hometown, just like Harley Cameron. Again, also genuinely, like even if he wasn't in his hometown, like as much as I like to see Buddy Matthews get the win, I'm gonna have to give it to the bitch man because he's just gonna hold on to that title until someone like my boy Kenny Omega or Eddie Kingston will win the championship. But I'm gonna say like with Buddy Matthews look like he's gonna be doing something promising in his side of the fence along with his hometown friends and family only for Okada to come in and spoil it all by hitting like whatever unexpected maneuver, maybe even the tombstone power driver that would make me shout out, he's not the Undertaker. Like, but this is where he is the Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. My final prediction: Kazuchika Okada retains his Continental Championship. Next up, we got Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay teaming against Donald Callis's two family members. The reigning defending international champion Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, another Aussie that's going to be in his home country, which is Kyle. But I think this is going to be a very brutal back and forth right here. They're probably going to start the match with them like looking like if it's a tornado tag rather than the normal generic tag team, unless that is the match type and stipulation that's going to be on the Saturday's contest. But I think it's going to be a normal like traditional tag team, like with being a little like a little typical, like with the heels like with on top like against someone like I don't know Will Ospreay until Ospreay will finally escape out of it. We'll see the cleaner himself will get the comeback. This is where we'll see him. Will be so close of winning, but only for one of the Donald Callis family members to interfere and stop him from winning, but Will Ospreay will come in for the save, and then that's where we can see them look like the chances are slim. Like even like probably see some other Donald Callis family members come out like Brian Cage and what's his name and Lance Archer and maybe even Mark Davis could come in. This is where the plan will go backfire, however. And since that this feud probably not going to be ending anytime soon, considering that it looks very brutal, and it looks like we're going to see Will Ospreay go after the international championship, while Omega will still continue to fight anybody that Donald Callis have to offer him. So I think that we're going to see the baby faces are going to be winning. Both my boys, Omega and Ospreay, are going to get the win. And my final prediction, like Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega is going to be the winners. With Kenny Omega probably hit one of them with the one-winged angel, and Omega hit the hidden blade, and whoever the legal man is against the other legal man in the Donald Callis family, then go for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and they're going to be the winners on the SNA's prediction, of course. But next up, moving on, we're gonna talk about like what are the match that's gonna be on the card. I'm trying to think. What other match that's gonna be on the card on to this Saturday's event? Was anything announced on this? I don't know, but next up we're going to be talking about the TBS Championship match, I guess you could say, which is going to feature the champ herself along with the other 3 belts, Mercedes Moné, the CEO, taking on Harley Cameron, the challenger, and the hometown and country hero herself. That's going to be surrounded by all her friends and family that she mentioned this last Saturday. And this is going to be a big moment for her. Maybe this is going to be the highlight for not only 2025 in her career in wrestling, but also overall in her career in professional wrestling, period. But yeah, like, and as much as I like to see Harley get her moment and finally win her first ever singles championship in AEW, unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen. But before I continue to that prediction, I want to give a huge congratulations because I heard on the commercial tonight while I was watching AEW Dynamite that the CEO herself is going to be a special guest on Meal in the Movie, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah. She's going to be the special guest on the show that's on TBS. She's going to probably talk about her favorite movies and whatnot, and even watch them with the host like of the show. Yeah. But yeah, I thought I might give her a big congratulations onto her being a special guest onto like the new episode of that show. But let's But let's continue. Talk. Let's talk about the match, like, which we're gonna see Harley Cameron gonna have like a big moments of every time she'll probably hit her special moves. She's gonna be cheered by the fans by with them cheering Harley, Harley, Harley. But much as he would probably hit Mercedes Moné with move after move after move, I just feel that she's going to keep kicking out repeatedly, no matter what moves it might be. But until like Harvey Cameron probably be making a huge mistake, this is where we can see her getting intercepted by the CEO, and this is where she'll hit her with the Monet maker, or maybe the statement maker, whatever it's called. That submission move that has been known as the bank statement. But it's where then she'll either make her tap out, put to sleep, or even hit her with the Monet maker for the pinfall victory. And Monet will kind of would embarrass what's her name, Harley Cameron. Well, her job is in kayfabe, that is, of course. But my final prediction: Mercedes Moné retains her TBS championship, but still, the fans will still thank Harley after the match with her. With the fans are saying, "Thank you, Harley," clap, clap, clap. But her not being entirely embarrassed. The only thing that she didn't win. That's the only thing that she got embarrassed about. I'm not bringing home the TBS title that she promised her family and friends, which she'll probably do a very heartfelt promo like to them, saying I'm sorry I couldn't do, but like wasn't that really a great match? But she'll be trying to say like this was her first ever title match overall, not only in her home country, like which is their first time competing in their home country and town of Brisbane, Australia. And this where she was like, but it won't be her last, which she should be thinking in that positive manner. But the next time, maybe probably when the CEO is probably no longer the TBS championship, whenever that may be, which I just don't know. But anyways, but let me know down in the comments about below about this. When if you agree with this, when you think that when she will get another opportunity for women's championship gold, but moving on, we got the women's championship match between what's her name? Between uh what's her name? The other women's championship, which is the women's world championship of what's her name? Mariah May against the other hometown here. And yeah, some of y'all probably saying like, yeah, like you said on plenty of your other podcasts, this is probably the only Aussie that you think is going to take the W. And I'm going to tell you why. Is because we're going to see like stuff that's like deja vu from All In, except maybe look like it's going to twist. They're going to be twisting turns and be the complete opposite. And then this is where we can see I'm not even talking about Mariah May. I'm even saying right now, Mariah May didn't try to do the exact same things what she did in her hometown in her home country of London, England. That's where we can see her except without the only thing that she won't do is to slap her own mother in the face, which that's probably the best thing about her what she's doing in Brisbane, Australia, because she really is the woman from hell. And if I was Mariah May, like I always say, like I'll be fearing for my life because like when Tony Storm says she's gonna do something, she's gonna be following what comes out of her mouth, and then I'll be trying to cover up my all kinds of padding, try to cover up like if I was Mariah May, I should say like I'll be covering up my TITs with all kinds of padding so she won't be ripping them right off my chest. But anyways, this is where we got. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing Mariah May. We'll try to think is just another successful title defense like she's been doing like ever since she beat Tony when the last time that they fought like for the women's championship. Only for Tony to keep denying her maneuvers, not taking three for an answer. Tony Storm makes a comeback. That's where we can see Tony Storm could go for her hip attack maneuver, all kinds of maneuvers that she does as timeless Tony Storm with her timeless persona. That's what she would. But I think she'll try to attempt to go for a Storm Zero, only for it to get intercepted by Mariah May. With Mariah May hit her with a Mayday out of nowhere, but only for it to be denied. But Mariah May to try to either go for another maneuver, or Mariah May could perhaps to go for another attempt for the Mayday, which she will probably forget that the lightning does not strike twice in finishing maneuvers or any moves in professional wrestling that is in general. This is where we can see Tony Storm finally get the guaranteed what they call Storm Zero, and maybe even do it off the top rope, doing an avalanche version of the maneuver. Who knows? Like that depends on where she's going to be doing it in the ring, but that will help her get the 1, 2, 3, recapture her AEW Women's Championship, being the first ever woman to be the 4-time AEW Women's World Champion. And yeah, and it will be in her home country of Australia, finally having her moment there, just like how Mariah May did, which we don't want to really talk about that considering she's a heel. But my final prediction: timeless Tony Storm wins back her AEW Women's Championship. And finally, we got the main event, which is for the AEW. I mean, not for the AEW World. It's gonna be a tag team match for. It's gonna be an AEW tag team match, like which will be Switchblade Jay White and the Rated R Superstar Cope, or Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call him. This is where then they're gonna be taking on what's their names? John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Like and yeah, and as much as I'd like to see the baby faces winning, like anytime, because like I just do not want to see anything like from the Death Riders, like including their toxic water that brainwashes people to act all crazy and delusional like them. Which all started with Moxley thinking Antonio Schiavone was the owner, president, and the CEO of AEW, when that's the totally different Tony. Which that's like I said, like a different video for a different day to continue to talk about that. But anyways, it's where we got we're gonna see like them getting brutal, like something similar to like the previous tag match between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay against the Don Callis families, Konosuke Takeshita and what's his name, Kyle Fletcher, in the tag team match that they did earlier. Because I assume it's going to be on before the Switchblade Jay White and Cope versus Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley match, like which is going to be probably main event in the show, if not like Tony Storm, like either Tony Storm and Mariah May, or maybe even Buddy Murphy and Okada, or Cameron and Monet, or whatever who's gonna. Which, as much as I'd like to see the Aussies, will probably main event their show and have the little bit of a moment in that way, even in case if they don't get the dub of winning their respective championship matches. But like, we're gonna be talking about, we're gonna be seeing this match, which like it's probably just a country away, like where Jay White's from, because he's from New Zealand. But it's where we can see them, like it's where we can see the fans start cheering them, like no matter what, like with Cope and White were just continuing to hit their Blade Runners and impaling DDTs and spears, while Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli hit their neutralizers, Death Riders, paradigm shifts, the Claudio swing, any maneuver that's in their arsenal. And this look like that we can see the Cope, the Yope, and Jay White look like they're about to get the W easily, only for like and Death Riders come in and try to interfere, like and try to go for an attack, like tag one of them, which I think they probably will try to use the briefcase, but this probably will backfire. But ends up still getting attacked by one of the Death Rider members, which could be Pac or Willa Yuta, or even what's her name, Marina Shafir. This is where it could distract them, where John Moxley could go for Death Rider, which, yeah, no pun intended, which that's their name of the faction, which I believe that's the name of his finisher before he even before he even started this faction. This is where we can see John Moxley hit the rear naked choke onto either what's his name, either Jay White or what's his name, the Rated R Superstar, like to try to put him to sleep for good, which it would work, like and they'll win by a knockout submission. And my final prediction: Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley wins the tag match by submission, of course. But this is where they're probably not done yet, because they'll probably make him drink that toxic, disgusting water from Cincinnati, right on the what's the name, the Cope, so he won't be challenging him for the AEW Championship at AEW Revolution when they head over back to the United States from a month from now. And that's where we can see him like trying to do the same what they did to Orange Cassidy, trying to brainwash him or kill him or whatever. Which this toxic, disgusting water from Cincinnati came from, which came from Cincinnati. Like they keep it in this very very gross clean bottle, spray bottle, I guess you could say, which they did with Orange Cassidy. They were trying to drink it like right through a tube, which that would be even worse than just drinking it right directly from the spray bottle. Like, bleh. Again, it gives me, it makes me nauseous just thinking about it. But anyways, yeah, I just think that would happen. But Jay White would probably will try to fight him off, but only for all he did is where we can see John Moxley will threaten to break the break break the neck of the rated R superstar and make him permanently damaged, like how like his former Shield brethren tried to do when they fought him in the other company when Tommy had a dream match 1-on-1. But this is where we got but this is where we can see him putting a chair around his neck. This where then we'll see this is where we'll see John Moxley and Claudio try to play rock paper scissors because they're the heaviest footer. Like to try to go for a foot stomp to try to trap what's his name Cope right around the neck. But yeah, this is where we can see. But this is where we can see what's his name. That's where we can see that happening, and I totally forgot. When John Moxley did the rear naked took someone like Cope, I think he'll probably break off that exact same chairs, one of the leg holders on, like that little metal pole, using it by putting it in his mouth, like how Cope did to his former Sheer brethren, and even him himself, like about a month ago when like on that very special on that episode of AEW Dynamite on Fight of the Fallen, like on the New Year's edition when they very first started simulcasting it on TBS and Max. But yeah, this is where we can see Moxley then yeah, do that to him, but put him to sleep to win that way. But that's where we could do this where then it will be Mox saying like, you know what, I should do it because this is my this was created to be my problem. Now I'm going to be finishing it, and that's where he'll hit the stop right onto the chair on the neck, assuming that his match against Cope at AEW Revolution is no longer going to be the case or no longer going to be scheduled because he'll nearly kill him to the point that he'll never wrestle again, but only for probably later on in the future. Like we'll see Cope will come out of nowhere and still challenging him like just a couple weeks later, like just like right after this event in particular. He'll be like you see right now, like I am not dead nor even permanently injured to the point that I'm going to have to retire. Otherwise, I would have came here sooner and announced it. And this is where then he'll challenging him anyways for the AEW championship. And that's what we're going to be leading up to on the road to Revolution. But let me know in the comments down below what you would predict. And is it something similar to your boy Super Ninja Austin just did right here? Yeah, please leave your comments down below. And also, please make sure to check out my wrestling news video on Friday, February 14th on the Valentine's Day edition of the wrestling news, along with Friday Night SmackDown on that day as well. They're going to be on, which I am going to be naming it on my podcast review. And but I'm going to be I'm probably going to be taking the night off like on my birthday, like because it's gonna be my birthday on February 13th, like and yeah, and thanks some of you assassinators that wish me like all the wishes and the love and whatnot. Like yeah, I thank you all assassinators for wishing me happy birthdays and also yeah like a happy 23, I guess you could say, even though that's a random number. But I think it's a very special number in this very particular year, which I say that with most of my ages, one every year. But like this is, like I guess you could say, a bit more special than years before. But that'll be mentioned in a future video for a future day. But for now, I want to say good night to you guys, and I want to wish you all a very happy and safe and fun rest of your Wednesday night. And I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. See you in the next 2 nights, and and take care, and have a wonderful Thursday, and talk to you again soon. And I need to start doing some animation news video and even a movie news video, like on what new movies or animation that's going to be coming out, or reboots of movies or animation or anything of the sort of it, like we're going to be talking about here on the or on the other channel, I should say. So follow me on there, which I call it the SNA Entertainment. So check that out. Which I'll be talking about anything, but whether it's coming out in movie theaters or on TV or on a streaming service like Max or Netflix or any other platform that will have the series or the movies on, like which we're going to be talking about here. Talking about on that channel on that SNA podcast, I guess you could say. But yeah, like see you guys on Friday when your boy SNA is officially 23, and we're gonna see you next time. Peace. Boom. And yeah, and also happy early Valentine's Day to you all assassinators as well. I thought I might say that, even though I should be saying that the day after tomorrow, which I will. But yeah, see you guys then. Bye bye.